YouTube. I'm back. Yep. Beautiful day. Give thanks. Yep. Hold on. Let me get my stuff. Gonna keep going with that ego stuff, the current state of humanity, the ego. Hold on, where I was. Let me check where I was. The content you identify with is conditioned by your environment, your upbringing, and surrounding culture. Yeah, I told you that one. Okay. Identification with things. Yeah. The people in the advertising industry know very well that in order to sell things that people don't really need, they must convince them that those things will add something to how they see themselves or are seen by others. In other words, add something to their sense of self. And that's good that I read that, because before I was a bunch of bikers just passed by with their motorcycle and very loud stuff. You know, I don't have not, but I think it's just very loud. It's just very loud. I don't think I will ever own one, because I've never been attracted to that anyway. I don't know, I'm more a spiritual kind of guy than a toy kind of guy. Not very much in toys. I don't have much toys. Honestly, I have one toy, it's my GoPro. That's the best toy. I think it brings me more joy in a way than probably a four-wheeler or a bicycle can bring me. I know that. They do this, for example, by telling you that you will stand out from the crowd by using this product, and so by implication be more fully yourself. Or they may create an association in your mind between the product and a famous person. Yeah. Or a youthful, attractive, or happy-looking person. Even pictures of old or deceased celebrities in their prime work well for that purpose. The unspoken assumption is that by buying this product through some magical act of appropriation, you become like them, or rather the surface image of them. And so in many cases, you are not buying a product but an identity enhancer. Designer labels are primary collective identities that you buy into. They are expensive and therefore exclusive. I try to minimize my the buy of designer stuff like that. Personally, less possible, unless yeah. But that's the part of me that has to become more conscious. It will come. Designer labels are primary collective identities that you buy into. They are expensive and therefore exclusive. If everybody could buy them, they would lose their psychological value, and you would be left with what would be their material value, which likely amounts to a fraction of what you paid. This is the thing, when we buy designer clothes or like Nike, just to say you have a Nike pair of shoes, or like it's all to I always found something very I don't know, I choose my shoes for comfortability. My shoes are New Balance, are not Nike, and they're orthopedic shoes for comfort. I don't choose shoes for because I want to stand out or very often I buy shoes that my wife tells me that they look grandpa, they look old, but I buy stuff for comfort. Yeah. Not for pride or false pride, or because mostly it's all false pride. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not into this anymore. Before, when I was younger, I wanted brand name. Especially when you're young, you aim to have brand name in your closet, and it's very, very important to have brand name clothes on you. But the other day I was talking with my wife, and I was saying that maybe it's not a bad thing after all that uniforms in schools. It prevents a bit there's a good and a bad thing to I think to uniforms in schools. What kind of things you identify with will vary from person to person, according to age, gender, income, social class, fashion, the surrounding culture, and so on. What you identify with is all to do with content, whereas the unconscious compulsion to identify is structural. It is one of the most basic ways in which the egoic mind operates. Paradoxically, big word, what keeps the so-called consumer society going is the fact that trying to find yourself through things doesn't work. The ego satisfaction is short-lived, and you keep looking for more, keep buying, keep consuming. That's what I find. We have become such a consumer society. Everything is about consuming, is about having a stand out from the crowd and show that you have money, and it's so fake, because how do you really judge or interpret the true quality of a man or a woman? And I think it's the way you're able or capable to influence others positively in your if you're capable to influence others on a positive level. I think it's very, very not self-rewarding, but there's lots of gratification, good gratification coming from there if you're able to inspire people, for sure. Of course, in this physical dimension that our surface selves inhabits, things are a necessary and inescapable part of our lives. We need housing, clothes, furniture, tools, transportation. There may also be things in our lives that we value because of their beauty or inherent quality. We need to honor the world of things, not despise it. Each thing as beingness is a temporary form that has its origin within the formless one life, the source of all things. All bodies, all forms. In most ancient cultures, people believed that everything, even so-called inanimate objects, had an indwelling spirit, and in this respect they were closer to the truth than we are today. When you live in a world deadened by mental abstraction, you don't sense the aliveness of the universe anymore. Most people don't inhabit a living reality, but a conceptualized one. But we cannot really honor things if we use them as a means to self-enhancement. That is to say, if we you see how loud it is? It's freaking loud. I hate these motorcycles. Honestly, I think I can say I hate them. But I don't hate them, but I don't like them. But we cannot really honor things if we use them as a means to self-enhancement. That is to say, if we try to find ourselves through them. This is exactly what the ego does. Ego identification with things creates attachment to things. Obsession with things which in turn creates our consumer society and economic structures where the only measures of progress is always more. There's nothing wrong with possessing things, but it's the greed, it's the consumer society that we have become. And also identified with things, like, it's crazy, no? The unchecked striving for more, for endless growth, is a dysfunction and a disease. It is the same dysfunction the cancerous cell manifests, whose only goal is to multiply itself, unaware that it's bringing about its own destruction by destroying the organism of which it is part. Some economists are so attached to the notion of growth that they can't let go of that word. So they refer to recession as a time of negative growth. He's out.